Hey guys, at the moment, um, I've decided, maybe for Christmas anyway, I've decided to ignore the recommendations and advice of my therapists and people, individuals who have shared their story with me, insightful story. To be independent, you must work hard on yourself. And to do that, you need to invest time, energy, and even money into yourself. And in my situation, when you have tried for years to get work and you can't get work, and you're only on a disability allowance, it causes you to be challenged in the areas of regular, like survival, and your basic needs. Because a lot of people in the industry will tell me that what I'm making is not enough to survive on. And that's what I've had a couple of mentors say in the past. Like when I say mentors, so like I've had a music coach, okay? And I have had a personal development coach mentor, and also kind of like entrepreneur business mentors as well. So the advice and the recommendations I've decided to ignore and not pass heed of is one, to not contribute towards the house or to not contribute financially when it comes to my mother, because I'm residing in her house, because it's not safe to do so. It's going to hold me back. It has been holding me back. It's going to increase her dependency upon me, and then that in turn will increase my dependency on her, which is what she has intended for years. Okay. So that's one. The second one is whenever you're being criticized by her, or when you're being criticized by anybody around her or any connections close to her, I'd strongly advise you to get out of the house, get away from the room, and to get away from the house as much as you can. And when I say get away from the house, I mean get away from that type of behavior, get away from that toxicity, get away from the criticism, because you don't deserve it. It doesn't benefit you, it doesn't influence you, and it just brings you down. And it's a barrier to you moving forward. That's probably one of the reasons why you're sick. The problem with that is that it's expensive being away from my mother's house when you don't work. I have done it and I have tried it, and that's one advice that I followed through for a certain amount of months. And my therapist was proud of me for doing that. But it only lasted 3 months, because then there was an issue with my stomach, IBS, and it became a big deal for people. It still is a big deal, so that's holding me back. So that pushes me back into Mum's house, as well as preventing me from moving forward to get employment, because it's possible for you to be picked on when you have extreme symptoms of IBS, when it's not your fault and you're trying your best to heal. And people don't seem to have patience, and they don't understand, probably because they have their own problems. And then you become an additional problem, and then they want to push you away. That's kind of what it feels like. So for that reason, it's difficult for me to get away from the house. especially with what I experienced on the train. I'm still trying, though. I am still trying. I'll tell you that. So all I can do is just hope that I'm not going to be disturbed while I'm in my room, and just like do whatever I can to just like build myself up, make myself feel good. Research, do some reading. I have had stuff thrown out on me several times, and justifications made, and exclamations made, defenses, and that included when I was away from the room as well as being away from the house. So I don't know if that was a type of jealousy or what, or anger directed towards me. I don't know. I know that my mother wants to feel needed, and that's the danger there, is because I'm not supposed to need her, because I can't be independent if I need her, because it's negative, right? I don't know when I'm gonna get work, but if I do get some kind of work, I don't think I'm gonna be free from her until then. Especially when I realize how I'm being trapped and how to break from that. And I'm still learning. And there's been a wee bit of changes. My mother, in a way, she still wants the attention focused on her, still wants to be a victim. At the moment, she's like putting on the mask where she is acting generous, very generous to people outside of her, and like sending cards and stuff, and that presents the illusion that everything is fine and that she's fine and she hasn't done anything that's unjustified. But anyway, moving away from the point, I'm just saying that even though it's not true, even though I know I'm not contributing, the people around me don't see that. Because when I'm not being any way helpful, I'm perceived as the lazy one, as the one who doesn't do anything, who hasn't grown up. And none of that is true. The only reason I do it is because it's around her. And I only do it because I'm trying to reduce her dependency on me as much as possible. And it's difficult for people to see, especially when it's mainly an emotional level as well as a kind of energetic level as well. That's what I notice. My